All right, guys, we're back in Star Citizen, and I'm heading over to Hurl L1 so we can get our Drake salvage ship because I want to do some hole scraping. I was going to do mining tonight, but I decided, you know what? I've already got 7 work orders finished, so we're just going to do some salvaging, make some quick credits. 2 hours of salvage should net us around 200, 300,000 credits. I have been informed by the missus that I do have to end the stream exactly when I'm supposed to end the stream. So all the audio should be on now. I have forgot to turn the desktop audio on, so that was my fault. So yeah, let's get over here to the space station and we'll get our Drake Vulture out. And then we'll go on a mission. Sounds like fun. If anybody has any questions, hit me up in the chat. Or message me on Facebook. You can also join my Discord. Discord's in the description. Or should be.
Thank you. Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
So, yeah, it stormed here all day today. It rained a bunch. We got home from church, and then all of a sudden, storm time. I was like, dadgummit. That explains why I've been having to cut the grass so much here lately, because it has been raining like nobody's business. Which makes the inconvenience of the insurance company not having reimbursed me for my roof damage yet kind of a big deal. All right, let's land here.
Complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Engines offline.
So yeah, hopefully, let's get my hat on straight so I don't look like a daggum doofus. All right, yeah, hopefully the rest of you had a good day today. I know I had a pretty good one. I looked at this game. I've been watching a couple videos on it. I watched that guy Momo. I watched his videos again. He's the guy who goes onto the server for this game called Rust, and he's always busting cheaters. And he's an admin on that server, and watching him do it is hilarious. And he's right on YouTube. You should check him out. Just watching cheaters get pounded by this guy is awesome. That inspired me, so I purchased Rust today. I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research before I actually start playing it. Because it's not one of those games I want to get into and I know nothing at all, so I end up getting killed a bunch. So if any of you have any hints for playing Rust, let me know down in the comments.
Welcome to the ASOP
Or right here in the chat, I should say. Alright, we're going to store our Stalker. And we're going to get our Vulture.
Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered.
Let's make sure we have a tractor beam. First, we're going to store all of our special equipment. Now we're just going to take a tractor beam with us. Let's go over here, get us the last one in the inventory, and throw a tractor beam on it. Also, check out right here at the bottom. You can click that arrow and it'll cycle to the next part of your inventory. So the other day when I was all frustrated because I couldn't find something, yeah, that's where it was. All right, so yeah, we got it. And it does have the tractor beam attachment. I don't even know why I looked. I knew it was going to be Hangar 4. We all knew it was going to be Hangar 4. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, we're just going to do some hole scraping. You know, Sunday night's all about relaxing, and there's no gameplay more relaxing than flying in the Drake Vulture. And this is what was left over from that last hole scraping mission we did. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reset the grid. Oh, it won't let us activate our tractor beam because we're in the hangar, which is weird because if we come in from a landing, we can do that. But we'll reset our grid later after we do it. We start loading salvage on here. So, also made sweet tea today, or I didn't make sweet tea. The wifey made sweet tea today, so I'm back with my favorite cup, get my sweet tea on. You know, I found after not drinking Mountain Dew for a little bit that it's really syrupy when you've just been drinking sweet tea. Because, you know, the trick to sweet tea is to do the 2 cups of sugar. And I know that sounds like a lot. But, you know, when you start mixing in ice and everything else, it's not really all that bad. It's delicious. I love sweet tea.
Thank you.
I do not like bitter tea. Ugh. Oh. Just thinking about bitter tea makes me sick. Okay, let's check out what we got going on. Arcor, cool. Hurl L4, what is this? Thruster failure on a MISC prospector? No thanks, there's not enough money into that. Hurl L5, 5000 AUEC on an Aegis Eclipse, no thanks. L1, Aegis Hammerhead. Attacked by Outlaw Pack, Hurl L1. That sounds like a good mission. 50,000 credits, we'll take it. Hopefully the Hammerhead will give us some good salvage. But first we got to chart a course to Hurl L1. That's where we're at right now. Okay, so we just need to fly out there. What's that? Hurl L1A, 45,000. So we'll just go to Hurl L1A, which should put us close to the asteroid field. And then we'll fly from there because there'll only be 20 clicks. Right now we're 60 clicks out. Oh wow, that was amazing. So just like that, we went 20 clicks. Yeah, I'm not buying that. Maybe 2 clicks. So yeah, anyways. Yeah, I'm thinking about trying Rust out. I haven't played it yet. I see a lot of people getting their butts kicked in that game on video, so it's like, okay, I don't want to be getting my butt totally kicked constantly, but I am going to be a new player to the game, so it's inevitable I will get my butt kicked. So let's angle this out at 45, the scan out at 45 degrees. I'm not going to coast in. What I'm kind of looking for is something to pop up, and then I'll scan it. If it's in front of me, I'll scan it, and we'll see what we get on the debris signature. So 1900 is not what we're looking for. I think we're looking for stuff with and that can be multiplied by 2,000, because that'll be like whole parts. So like that is going to be a rock, I guarantee you. So we'll scan it real quick. If we can get it to scan, that would be awesome. Here we go. Yep, it's a rock. Just a regular old rock. So you want to be careful when you're flying out in these asteroid fields, even for space combat, because you can wreck into these things, unfortunately. It's a real inconvenience when you go into a dogfight mission and you're in the middle of this giant asteroid field. It actually makes no sense. 3340, so let's scan this one. Two rocks. That's all we need to know. So sometimes you can get out here and you can do some scanning. You can find these little body panels and stuff. They usually pop in fairly early. So there's a rock right there, 9,000 kilometers away. And if you can find the little body panels, you can actually get a whole ton of salvage off those. That has got to be the weirdest looking asteroid I've ever seen. But you can fly through here, just scanning, trying to find what you're looking for. That's going to be some kind of rock. All right, here we come to the hammerhead. Let's get out of this mode, get into mining mode. Go ahead and change that scraper to the abrade. Oh, we're stuck in gimbaled mode because the last time we flew I had it in gimbaled. Ooh, this one's in rough shape. Okay, well, here we go. So hopefully, even though it's in rough shape, we can still get some really good stuff off of it as far as hull goes. And of course, we'll check it out to see if there's anything inside the cargo bay. But I don't think there's going to be. Let's change our... there we go. Golly, it's taking forever to eject that filler, isn't it? All right, there we go. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I was checking it out. I'm thinking about playing it. I think I'll stream the very first time I play it because I know everybody loves those new reactions to a video game, especially when you're totally going to suck at it. And I have the feeling I'm totally going to suck at it because this will be the first time I've played a game similar to it. Most of the games I do play that are survival based are not multiplayer, and if they are, they're always just co-op. And I was looking, that one's mostly going to be PvP. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be enjoyable. It was on sale right now during the Steam Summer Sale, so if you need a new game to play, check out the Steam Summer Sale because they have a lot of games on sale right now for pretty good discounts. They had it, a couple others. I looked at maybe trying Ark because there's something cool about dinosaurs. Obviously, growing up as a young fella, dinosaurs were one of my favorite things, and so Ark just looked like it'd be something I could get into. But ultimately, I chose Rust because, I don't know, it's just so dynamic looking. So to reset your stuff on the grid, you just need to move it. And that'll avoid that cargo bug that everybody talks about. Including me, because I'll talk about the cargo bug in a heartbeat. Because it has ruined me on a cargo run a while back. Come on, let's go. So yeah, just want to rearrange this stuff somehow. Get it locked in there. Go ahead and push this one. Oops, R. So R rotates it in all these different directions for you. So we just need to line it up straight and then push it in there. All the way to the back. Thank you. Alright, let's get this up and right out of the way. Get it right there. Alright, now pick this one up. And of course I did the same stupid thing I did a while ago. There we go. Now we can eject that one. Eject. There we go. I don't know why it didn't want to eject the first time, but you know, you always got one of those that's just not going to eject. So if you watched me play live last night, you'll realize that I did not have a very good night. I died multiple times. I went to prison twice. It was terrible. But I'm going to chalk that up into, as, you know, I was just tired. You know, that's the good excuse. I was just tired. One, I wasn't shooting very well, which is very not natural. And I even played with my mouse sensitivity to make sure it was right, but it was. Anyways, it's not promising as far as playing Rust goes when I'm playing like that. So hopefully that's just a fluke and I get back into things, especially since that game is so focused on player versus player combat for your survival. So yeah, you just go through here, you scrape the hole. It's pretty simple. But yeah, if you got time, check out his videos on busting cheaters. I always like seeing those videos. I didn't realize cheating had become such a big thing in video games, you know. I mean, back in the day as a kid, you would do that, what, up, down, BA, left, right, or whatever it was. In NBA Jam, I think the game was. And that was fun. That wasn't cheating. That was just using the codes that were there. So you could get on fire easier or dunk across the court and stuff like that as a kid. We weren't trying to compete competitively, which apparently people are trying to do. I saw some videos where people were doing that in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You know, every time you think you want to get back into playing something like that, bam, you find out cheating is just prevailing. But, you know, Rust is a different kind of monster. If somebody is cheating, it still doesn't matter. I mean, aim bots or whatever. It is what it is. But you figure these utilities, like easy cheat, anti-cheat software, would be able to detect known problems like that, or you would think known softwares. Because those are like software that you have to waste money on. And then you risk getting an account banned. Like Activision, when they did that huge ban of all those people. They didn't just ban them from the game. They banned their hardware ban. That's amazing. That technology even exists. But you figure, hey, maybe you shouldn't cheat. But no, it's everywhere. It's prevalent. That's what happens when people are out there just trying to make money doing all this stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like stealing. Really. Let's say it's fraudulent, at least. We can concede that point, right? Like if I said, oh, I bought all these games in ship. No, I didn't. I mean, all these ships in game. No, I didn't. I bought my Avenger, my Drake Vulture. I bought my Misk Prospector. I bought my Freelancer Max. Yeah, in game I've bought some stuff. But you know, in the last wipe I lost some of it. And I just repurchased the Rock just the other day, and I bought the I bought the the Aurora MR, so I could do a little video on how to use the junkiest ship in all of Star Citizen, because it's the cheapest one you can buy to get that you get a starter package with. You know, that kind of information is valuable for people who are going to start the game. They may not want to immediately upgrade to an Avenger Titan or an Avenger Stalker. At the time, I don't think that was even a starter package for me. I had to start with either the Anvil Arrow, not the Arrow. It was a little fighter ship. The CBX, I think that's what it's called, or the Aurora. So I chose the Aurora because it had those cargo doors on the side, and it said it could hold 3 SCU of cargo. So that's why I got it. And when they said 3 SCU of cargo, they're kind of exaggerating on that one. You can hold 3 little tiny cargo boxes that you get on pickup missions. Unless you can fit a full one SCU box, you'd have to fit 3 of those in there, though. And I'm not buying that at all, because I flew it. I stacked a total of 3 boxes in there off video on a 3-box mission, just to see if I could run that one. Because, you know, you want to make sure you can do something before you tell everybody, you know, on stream that you can. Because that would suck. I'd rather face plant and say you can't do something, and then all of a sudden find out that you can, than tell you that you can do something only to find out that you can't. Because that sucks even worse. But yeah, if you're playing Star Citizen right now, let me know in the chat. If you're thinking about playing, let me know what kind of ship are you thinking about getting. Let me know. Because that's an important decision. What ship you start with, because that's going to matter, especially in the end, when this game fully releases and all of our accounts get set back to 0. So we're basically all experienced noobs at that point, right? So we have nothing except for the ships that we paid for with real money. So when you buy your starter package, let me know what you're thinking about getting. You know why I got the stall? I started with an MR, or an Aurora MR. That's actually what I started with. And I upgraded it to an Avenger Stalker. Why did I go with the Stalker? Because it had those bays in it for the cryo bays for prisoners. So you could run bounties and store your bounties in there, because I thought that was going to be the most awesome gameplay. That's still not in the system, and that's the ship I started with. Like 3 days later after I started Star Citizen, that's what I upgraded to, because I was like, man, that's going to be so awesome, because I kept thinking in the next patch they'll have that gameplay totally sorted, you know, it'll be totally in the game. And it wasn't. So I still use that ship as my daily runner because, you know, it serves its purpose. So I'm not complaining because that gameplay is not in the game. Would it be cool if it was? Absolutely. But this ship is in the game, and this gameplay loop is here, and it works. So I like it. I wish scanning would find those panels much easier, or just a tad bit easier. Maybe long range scan would be awesome, so you could scan further off and be able to detect things at a greater distance. So I know at Hurl L4, or is it L5? One of those two has a C2 Hercules. I think it's a Hercules. It could be a Star Runner. Anyways, one of those ships are there for you to go and hole scrape. You have to find it, though. And I found it through sheer luck flying through there, because it didn't give me a a ping like a rock does. It's kind of like how you can't detect gems with your Gray Cat Rock mining vessel. I mean, mining, what do you call that? A truck? I don't call it an SUV. Mining SUV. So yeah, this hole's thick through here. So this was a pretty good one. So I think we should be able to get, I mean, we're not even halfway down yet. Obviously, we had the, what was it, 5 cargo boxes already on the ship. I think it was 5, right? I would have to go back and refer to the footage. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we started with 5. And we've already put 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6 right here on this grid. So it was 5. So we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've already got 5 off of this ship. So that's awesome. Okay. There we go. Let's go back up. So if we fill it up, I'm going to try to get more than 21 on here tonight. I think I'm going to try to get 24. That way I'm not wasting everybody's time. But I figure we'll end up having to take 2 trips out here for it to be worth the 50,000 credits. But 2 trips doesn't hurt anybody. Doesn't hurt me. Doesn't hurt you. And it's a good way for us to make extra credits. Since I burned so many credits last night by wrecking, rebuying my ammo. I went to Ghost Hollow and died and lost my gear. I went to one place. I ran a bunker, one of the $60,000 credit bunker missions, and I shot one of Hurston Security's guys, so it gave me a crime stat 3. And while I was waiting, I sent a beacon out. This guy, Pilot Pilu, came to pick me up, right? But at the same time he was coming in to pick me up, he saw a Corsair pulling up. And he was like, hey, oh, he was trying to ambush me. Which obviously I wasn't. You all watched the stream. So it turned out the guy in the Corsair, Yucca, or whatever his name was, Yuck, he lit me up in the Corsair. And so he was there to get my bounty. Before anybody gets upset and starts, oh, that's griefing. No, it's not. That's part of the game, right? I had a bounty. He came and he lit me up. Now, would I have paid him more credits not to light me up than the 35,000? Yes. Would he have taken it? Probably not, because each time you take a bounty and you complete that bounty, you gain reputation, right? And each time you lose the bounty, cancel the bounty, you lose reputation. And no matter what, guess what I'd have had to do? I would have had to go somewhere like Grim Hex and turn myself in to do time at Klesher, because I don't like I don't like the criminal runs in this game. That's why I don't do a lot of PvP stuff unless it's specifically at Ghost Hollow and the comms are down. You got to check that satellite icon right there at the top to know. If you do that, then it's PvP. But you also know when you're going into Ghost Hollow, guess what? You're going to a PvP zone. That's exactly where you're heading. Now, getting interdicted by somebody in a Mantis while you're coming out of trying to fly into Hurston or Aberdeen or something like that, yeah, that sucks, but it happens. You're fixing to fly out, you get right outside of the thing, and you're interdicted. That's part of the gameplay, too. Yeah, you can get upset. I mean, I got mad. I got mad because I thought that was him, the guy who came to pick me up. I thought it was him that was lighting me up. I was like, holy cow, man. Because he comes over to chat and he says, oh, you don't need me no more. You trying to pirate me? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not trying to pirate you. That's not my gameplay style. It would be like me playing as Commander Shepard in Mass Effect and being the bad guy. No, not gonna happen. That's just not who I am in real life, so that's not who I'm gonna role play as. And some people like to role play the exact opposite person that they are. So when I role play as the person that I would like myself to be, even if I'm not exactly that, right? It's kind of like why when we play wrestling games, we make ourselves this big buff wrestler dude, when we all know most of us aren't big buff wrestler dudes. Those are very few and far between guys, you know, rare specimens. Not average Joe, Ghost 3 Bravo, sitting in his computer chair playing video games. And that's a fact. So yeah. Anyway, some people like to play opposite, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of video games. That's part of the fun of it. Now, are they hiding some kind of repressed regression? I have no clue. That's for clinical psychologists to figure out. Not old Ghost 3 Bravo. His job at the moment is to go in here and get this hull so I can get that sweet RMC off this thing. Because it's got some thick hole and ooh, some thick hole in spots. And I'm liking that. I like it when it's thick like that, because you get more hole for scrape, right? So look, I mean, look right here. Look at how long it's taken. Right here. Look how long that is taken before it goes all the way to 0. That's awesome. That means you're getting a lot of hole off the ship. So we're going to get our money's worth out of this regardless, because guess what? 7 crates, 50,000 credits, right? It's over 50,000 because it's 7,700 SCU per container. So 7 crates pays for the mission, and we're going to get way over 7 crates off this thing. And we're still just on one side, right? We're working on legit one side. All right, so we can't do anything with that, so I don't know what that is. All right, another crate. See, that's awesome. And we're still not at the halfway point. See, look up here. We're not at the halfway point yet. So that's the cool thing about the Vulture. Now, we're able to do some really cool stuff with it. And the salvage gameplay is just, I don't know, it's relaxing. It's easy money. But yeah, last night, I tried to give that dude his cash. I mean, I paid him for the mission, right? Because he didn't get paid the 25,000 credits because I died before he got there. But since he had flown into the hot zone, I went ahead and gave him 150,000 credits, right? So he turns around and gives me the, 125,000 credits. He turns around and gives me 100,000 back and just takes what I had put out the original mission for. So I thought that was really cool. He didn't have to do that. He flew into a possible dangerous situation, right? Because I was only about 4 clicks out from the security facility. So he could get lit up by AI turrets. And I was really concerned with that. So I ran the full 15 minutes out before I called for the beacon. So lesson learned, guys. If you're going to get a crime stat, make sure you take a rail gun with you. Because if somebody in a ship shows up, one, they can't hit you immediately, right? Because they have to kind of walk the rounds in on you. So you want to get around that? Take a rail gun and bust them out of the sky. But don't get mad because somebody came and took that bounty, because that is part of the gameplay. That's the entire gameplay loop for that person, right? And it's supposed to be fun for everybody, even him. Because I thought I had seen some stuff earlier in the chat. He possibly had been griefing some players, or could be taken as griefing. That's not really griefing, though. That's what's messing up right here. What the hell is going on here? Okay, so it's gonna act a little buggy on me, huh? That's fine. I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you right in your place. Don't worry. That's my job. All right. Oh, you don't want to come all the way out? That's cool. So it didn't come all the way out, so it bugged. All right. So that's 12 there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 2, 4, 6. I think that's going to be 18. So we should be able to fit 19, 20, 21, 22. So we'll just put 22 on here. I don't want to risk trying to put too many more than that. If you're watching this video and you have not tried Star Citizen, the free fly event lasts till the 17th, guys. So get in there, free fly, check this game out, see what it has to offer. Even though it's in the alpha phase, see what all it has to offer. And yeah, there's some frustrating times. You saw me get frustrated last night with the cave mission. That was terrible. The cave mission was bugged out. I couldn't climb the inside. But, you know, it's already been reported multiple times by other people. And it could have been the sheer fact of the armor that I was wearing when I went in the game. Because I noticed somebody who was able to do it in a video. And he wasn't wearing any armor like I was wearing. Let's get this zeroed out. There we go. Don't get too close, because you bump this thing, you'll screw yourself over. And he was able to complete the mission just fine, and I wasn't. So it could have been just been a matter of the size of the armor that I went into the mission with. Maybe if I'd have went into the mission with just a spacesuit. And obviously we were going to test that theory, but then I ended up crashing just straight down at the full speed that the Anvil arrow will go, because I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy looking at the third-person view of the Anvil arrow as it's coming into the hot zone, or into the LZ landing zone. Oops, better stop that before we lose salvage. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the channel. So you want to make sure that this goes back to 1 before you start salvaging again. So yeah, if you just started watching, what we're doing is we're doing some hole scraping with the Drake Vulture. If you're new to Star Citizen and you're doing the free fly event, hopefully you can get some kind of good information out of this video, because that's primarily what I do in the Drake when I want to make some quick bucks with the least amount of effort. Right? This is the way to do it. So I don't have to worry about getting blown to pieces or accidentally shooting security in a bunker. Because, look, last night, I'll explain it, because everybody's probably going to be like, why did you do, what happened there? Especially when I released a short. So what happened is when I went into the bunker, all the triangles were on top of the security guys, right? But after a couple minutes, I didn't notice that all the triangles disappeared. And then I ended up going down there and accidentally shooting the security. And when you pop the Hurston security guys, that's it, CS3 crime stat. And then they want to fight you. So I ended up just hightailing it out of the bunker. Obviously, the turrets light your ship up before you get a chance to bounce out and try to hide. Huh. I would have swore. So that's 20, right? 18, 19. 20. All right, we should be able to get 21. I think we got way more than that, though, actually. If not, if it's not 20, if it's not 21, it's 23. But we'll get one more box and then we'll head out. But yeah, anyways, so I ended up shooting a security because the little triangle was missing off of above his head. And that was terrible. I always review what happens after I get done playing, especially when I mess up. That's, you know, if you ever want to get better at video games, record your footage, just like a football player does, right? Record your footage, see why you failed, right? Or what you missed. I used to do that when I played Warzone. But that game's for kids, basically. I don't know. Something about it. I enjoy it every once in a while. I haven't played it in a long time. I most definitely haven't played Warzone 2. If it is even called that. That lets you know how long I haven't played it. But yeah, we're just going along hole scraping, drinking sweet tea and hole scraping. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button or follow, depending on what platform you're watching. Like my page if you're on Facebook. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. You ain't got to send me bits or nothing like that. Just follow my channel. That'd be awesome. You know, that way you get updates every time I do something new in Star Citizen. And guess what? I'm always doing something new in Star Citizen. There's always something to do, right? There's always salvage, mining, rock mining. There's a lot of fun to be had in this game. Somebody hit me up in the comments on a short video and said, I won't be checking this game out. And I was like, hey, it's free fly going on. You know, if you are interested in just giving it a try, check out the free fly. That way you have no money involved. You just have a little time. And who knows, you might like it. I didn't say that part, but I wanted to. Because, I mean, you might like it. I was iffy. I was skeptical, right? I was like, you know, I think I paid $55 at the time. I think that's what it cost to get in the store. It may have been $45. But I paid the normal cost that you start up with back in the day, and took that risk. I was like, you know, I've paid more for less, right? Because I mean, look, if you paid $60 for Baldur's Gate, guess what? That game hadn't come out yet. It's been being worked on for years now. Not trying to compare the two, okay? That's not what I'm doing. Because Baldur's Gate's its own thing, and it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be available, fully available on, what, August 23rd, so coming up pretty soon. Cyberpunk came out bugged. How long did it take them to fix No Man's Sky? You know, they made a lot of promises with that game and then failed to deliver until years later. And now No Man's Sky is pretty freaking awesome. Essentially, if they were to release this game, right, and say, oh, you know, we got more features coming down the line, but all this is ready, and not try to put not persistent entity, but keep server meshing out of the equation, most people wouldn't know the difference. They'd think it was a full game. And that's the beauty of this is that if they inevitably they will get there where they meet all of their goals, then this game is going to be insane. because I saw recently somebody was comparing Arc's server meshing with what's going on here. That's all good and gravy, but you know, this is persistent entity streaming mixed in with server meshing. That's a whole different monster. Because they're trying to track objects. I mean, a dadgum Coke can. Now, I disagree with that. I don't think you should be tracking it that small. Some of that stuff needs to be recycled because we're taking a server performance hit on that stuff because those are interactable physics objects. And I've talked about this multiple times already. But everything else is persistent across the universe. So the other night when I went back out, and that was my ship at HDSF Millerand, that was my ship. And how was I able to identify that that was my ship? The Omni Sky cannon on the front and on the two wings, along with the Dominator weapons. Oh, look, we're getting interdicted, so we have to be super careful because the only thing we have on this ship is some Bulldog repeaters. And the enemy is in front of us, and they are close. Of course, yeah, we don't have it.
We're using countermeasures, okay?
So yeah, we're getting interdicted. It's NPCs. I don't feel like fighting them because these Bulldog repeaters are terrible. Just make sure we're strafing. I forget how long our system will stay jammed, but we will keep decoys popping as long as missiles are being fired at us. So yeah, that's as fast as we can fly. Going to F4, scroll around, see if there's any missiles coming at us. No. And I don't see any other spaceships. So we can hold F4 and we can move our stuff around. Okay, there's one spaceship in the corner, so it is what it is. Let's go back into here. All right, we're not being interdicted anymore, so now we can just punch it back through. Always keep your decoys and your noise stocked, okay? And to hit you can hold your H button down, and it'll stack decoys, and that's for your, I believe that's for your IR. Yeah, that's for your IR missiles that are coming at you. And you hit noise for the EM missiles that are coming, right? Because the noise causes it to blow up against it, basically. Basically, it's like a big smoke screen. It's pretty cool. So, I didn't mention what we're doing. What we're doing is we're flying to Lorville to go sell our stuff at the TDD. So if you're just joining the channel, we're doing Vulture hull scraping, and currently we're flying down to Lorville, and we're gonna sell our RMC for 7,700 credits per container. And I believe we have either 21 or 23. I could be wrong though, so don't quote me. All right, radar lock is off, so that means nobody's targeting us anymore. So with Hurston, the best thing to do is go ahead and get down below these clouds, especially if you're lagging any. Keep an eye on Lorville. Let's be straight ahead. Flying kind of slow if you're in the Vulture, because the Vulture's clunky and it's easy to wreck. If you watched the other day, you saw another player who had wrecked as he was coming in. He had wrecked his Vulture as he was coming into Lorville. which really stinks because that means he had all that RMC on there. And that's the only reason you'd be coming here in your Vulture is if you were coming for the RMC. And I guarantee you right now, a lot of people are borrowing the Vulture because of free fly. Because the Vulture's regular price, $175. So I got lifetime insurance for my Vulture, and I'll tell you how I did that. The MRI Fury. I don't know why my mic is doing. I mean, why my camera's so blurry. All right, we're gonna stop right here for a second. I'm gonna sort the camera issue out. Sorry about that. Video, camera control. Okay, there we go. I don't know why that happened. The software malfunctioned, I guess. It's okay. We're looking for TISA spaceport. So if you're ever looking for TISA spaceport, just look around, right? Obviously the blue ship right here in the middle gives it away. But if you look at the distance, there's those signs flashing. That's what I always look for. What you don't want to do is fly too close to that big weird looking building right there that says Hurston Dynamics. Okay, because that building is off limits. You'll get one of those impound warnings. And when you're in a slow ship like this, that impound warning is a bad thing, because by the time that you get to where you can get away from that, you're being impounded. Oh man, I'm out of sweet tea. That's okay. We'll fix some more in a minute. We'll drink that water that's left over from the ice melting. All right, so when you get close, just alt in.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
And it might not show us the arrow if we're not quite close enough. This time it did, so we're good. Unfortunately, there's another player close by. And everything should be fine as long as he doesn't shoot out of the bunker and I don't accidentally crash into him. So a lot of people target you when they see you close by. I don't do that because it seems like a little hostile when you do that. Like I'm just that suspicious of you that I target you. Or you just maybe just be wanting to check in and see who it is. But you can always get close and hover. If it says the name of the ship, Anvil Valkyrie, so that's a big one. That's during the free fly. So you see all these containers right here? All these containers. All these containers are from where that Vulture crashed the other day. So I imagine somebody's down there trying to get those boxes, which would be smart. It would be smart because it's worth quite a few credits. So it says, warning, warning, you're leaving a safe zone. You're not leaving a safe zone. I don't know why it says that. We're not leaving the safe zone. So we want to get about right here. Make sure our landing gear is down.
Landing gear up.
Okay, so I did exactly the opposite of what I said we needed to do. So we want to go in long ways, get as close as we can to the front, and then land. So pay attention to whether it's a rectangle or it's a square as you're going down in when you're flying the Vulture, because that's a pain. And whatever you do not store the Vulture. I know everybody says store your ship. Don't store the Vulture. If you don't want to have a problem with the cargo bug that seems to only happen at Lorville, supposedly, then don't store the ship. And I'll show you when we get to the TDD. It should work. All this should be sellable. Then we'll go back and get another $100,000 worth of credits off that hammerhead. And we're not even have played for an hour yet. 58 minutes. And I think I started to stream a little late, actually. How long have I actually been playing? 58 minutes, 14 seconds. So there you go. So we should have plenty of cash off this one. So you're just going to want to make a right and then another right. Contrary to popular belief, there is no area that actually sells sodas around here unless those drink machines work. And in my experience, they don't work. I've tried. If you can get them to work, let me know in the up here in the chat, because I haven't been able to get them to work. So we're going commerce line, obviously, because we need to go to the TDD. And just sit down and enjoy the view as we head along.
Do not lock doors. Next stop, Central Station.
All right, we're going to stand up, take a look at that building out there. That's so cool. I wish these windows wasn't dirty up here, but that's, you know, part of the lore. This place is super polluted. If you want to go to a really clean place, Microtech, Orison, I believe, is really clean. Look at that big golden guy. He's cool. What did you say?
Now arriving.
Yes.
Central Station. Please
So
watch
when
the
I muted the
step
mic a
before
while ago,
boarding the
guys, I
train.
said, I need sweet tea. And she came in here and said, do you need me? Yes. You're the most important person in the world. Of course I need you. All seriousness, she's the best. You know? I'm 41. Right? I'm 41. I'm 42. Okay. You said what now? No, I'm 41. Yeah, I'm 41. I'm not 42. You tricked me. She tricked me, guys. I'm 41 years old. We have been married since we were young. She's actually my high school sweetheart. So she's been with me through thick and thin, which is awesome. It takes a lot of hard work for a relationship to last that long, especially on her end. It doesn't take much on mine. Okay, so we got 22, right? Because I'm just me and she's awesome. So 20, we got 12 SCU that's on the cargo grid. That's netting us 92,000 credits, right? And now we have 10 more, so that's 77,000 credits. So 94 and 77, so that's what, 111? No, that's way more than that. My math is wrong. 171. So that was 171,000 credits, right? And that was a total of an hour. So that's about what you expect out of a standard hull scrape. Because I'm running the mission fairly close to Hurston. Obviously, we lose 2 minutes on the drive over to Hurston. We also lost a couple minutes to, oh, I'm going the wrong way. So if you need to buy big weapons, this is where you go, right? Hurston Dynamics. They got some cool stuff here. You can buy it straight up or you can buy it from a terminal. I don't have a ship big enough for this cannon. So, here, we'll look at the screen. I'll show you what they sell. Yeah. They sell some stuff. Not much, but they do sell it. And all they sell is big guns. Dominance 3 scatter gun, 17,000 credits. Attrition 6 repeater, 73,000 credits. What's that go on? Size 6. So that goes on a big old ship. So let's get out of here. We don't own any big old ships. Compared to what those go on, we have baby ships. And I think they're big. I'm like, oh yeah, man, my Drake Vulture's huge. It's hard to land. I couldn't imagine trying to land a C2 or a A2 bomber. You know what? I still don't know what ship I want to buy with all the credits that I'm saving up, but I also keep giving away credits and then dying and losing credits because I want to have matching armor every time. There's just something about it. If you're going to have armor, I think it needs to match. At least the colors need to match. What would be cool is, I'll tell you what would be cool. I would like to own that red and white.
Now arriving from Tisa Spaceport. Stand by.
The Cutlass Red. Or what, isn't that what it's called? The Cutlass Red ambulance ship. It's on sale right now with this medic package. I've never done medic gameplay, but I think it would be super cool. That's what's throwing me off right there. I knew something was up. I had my headphone on the wrong ear. I like to have this ear open. The reason I like to do that is so I can hear what I'm saying at the correct volume, so I don't have to worry about, oh, what's it going to sound like for you guys? So you see that cool 360 that the train just did? I don't know how it did that on that track because this track's fairly straight through there. But CIG does know about that. That's not on the list of priority fixes, and I don't blame them because it's just a visual artifact or a visual bug. Has nothing to do with gameplay. Oh, check this out. Hold on. Let me get my...
Now arriving.
G3B shirt. Check
Please
that
watch
out.
your step when disembarking the train.
That's so cool.
Trespassing or attempting to trespass on train
Made that myself
serious and
so I could be super cool. I don't know. It's kind of geeky, but, you know, it makes me feel cool. Let's make sure I don't have to pay any stupid fines. Sometimes you still have to pay a fine after you served your prison term. And no, I don't, so we're good. And so we're back to 2 million credits. Just like that. So even after giving away cash and failing missions, we still got plenty of credits. Plus, I bought that ship for that video, and then I bought a new Gray Cat Rock with in-game credits. I bought those with in-game cash, okay, not with real cash, because I'm not about to spend $40 on the MR Aurora a second time when I hated that ship. Can you play the game with it? Absolutely. Huh, this is a big old hangar right here. It says this the hangar we came in on. I'm going to call shenanigans on that. Because we landed in a dead center. Yeah, no, this is a different hangar. I'm calling shenanigans. Okay, so let's see if we can get in our ship. There we go. So we're gonna be standing outside, getting our ship, close it, and it'll close the door automatically.
Engines online.
No, because when we landed this ship, we were all the way against that. Were we not? Yeah, we were. Because it said danger, danger close or whatever. Oh, you know what? Let's land back down. I need to look at something real quick. I hate it. I hate that camera bug. But that's no big deal. Okay, so we do have some crews on us. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna carry some crews. And we are going to drink said crews. And then we're gonna head out. Because it's important to stay hydrated in this game. Because you do to move slower, everything goes worse. I'm trying to keep that white balance down. There we go. That affects the frame rate on the webcam. Or the camera that you're watching me on. Alright, let's go. Launch complete. Warning collision alert. Collision with what? I thought the door was open. Yeah, it is. Yeah, see, that's not the one we came in on. I knew it. I dadgum knew it. The whole time. I told you. The whole time. I knew it.
Please visit again.
Oh, we will be visiting again here shortly. When we fly out to Hurl L1A and finish our mission. So we'll get the atmosphere. It'll take just a second. It'll take a long time for at that angle. And see how slow this thing is? I'm having to use booster just to get out of here at a decent speed. Because it's wanting to go 90 kilometers an hour. Oh, I hate having ice in my sweet tea. It's been getting in my mouth. Cold hurts my teeth. So yeah, if you're just joining the channel, we're heading back out to Pearl L1-A, the asteroid field. And we are in the middle of salvaging at Aegis Hammerhead, which is pretty amazing. So first we have to go to Hurl L1, obviously. So these pop-ups that show up right here, they're a little tardy to the party. Because it's been a while since I had that medical device in my hand.
Is now off. Landing gear up.
That was a weird hiccup. So far, the Hammerhead has given us quite a bit of salvage, and it's been quite profitable. Now, we did have 5 boxes on us ahead of time. That's okay. We still have more than half, or right at half, salvage remaining. And by salvage, they're talking about just the hull, for just the hull scraping. Now, hull scraping and salvage, you can salvage stuff like take guns off the ships and all that stuff, but the guns sell for 15% of their value. To me, ain't worth it. Now, if you take one of those illegal missions, under the personal tab, then you can get some really good salvage that way. Like you can get drugs off the ships, or what's that other stuff called? Spice or whatever it is. I haven't played that type of gameplay before, so I don't know. I went and destroyed drug stashes. And what's the name of the place that you go to for that? It's not Ghost Hollow. You go there, it's PvP, there's a drug machine, it makes drugs constantly. What is the name of that place? I can't think of it to save my life. It's not Ghost Hollow. Ghost Hollow is where you go to do that money mission. Money from nothing. So if you press B before this gets done spooling, you're going to get that weird error that I just got.
Quantum drive is now on.
And you're going to have to turn your quantum drive off and then turn it back on. It happens every time without fail. All right, so we're closer to our salvage claim this time than we were a while ago. Again, don't set your threshold too high on your into the red zone, because if you do, it's going to mess you up. Because it's really hard to slow down. Sorry, that was my golden retriever deciding to flop down on the ground. She's of advanced age, so she just kind of flops now. She's like, whatever, dude, I'm gonna flop down on the ground. And the worst thing is I'll have to pick her up because she can't pick her own self up. And her breath be stinking. Holy cow. Stank breath. It's like, oh my gosh. Did you eat something dead? No, boss. I didn't eat nothing dead. Yeah, right. That's how I envision the animals talking to me is, hey, boss. But you know, she doesn't bark, so that's good. When she does bark, it's something serious. Somebody's here. Something's going on. So I don't have to worry about her coming at me with no BS. We have a corgi. That thing barks nonstop over any kind of BS. It can thunder outside. She's barking. I can sneeze, and that thing will start barking at me. It's like, rah, 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 rah. And if you don't know, you think those things would have a little bark? Heck no. Corgis have they have a big dog bark. And I don't know how. Because the good Lord made them things tiny. Like their legs is like this long. They got little fat bellies. My kids are all like, oh, the queen's got corgis. And I'm like, well, I don't know how she bears it. Because generally, someone of that age category would be quite cranky hearing rah, 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 constantly. It's just, holy cow. If you want to see how corgis are, watch The Angry Boys on YouTube. It's 2 corgis, and they always barking at each other. They always barking at each other. It's like, man, I couldn't have them dogs. I wish I would have watched more of those videos and understood that that's exactly how all corgis are. Because my wife just had to have it, just had to have it. And she don't ask me for much, so it wasn't no big deal, you know. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll save the money. You know, you save up a couple months and to make the decision that you're gonna buy this animal. And then you're gonna love it because it's an animal. I mean, they love you unconditionally. All right, whether you're a cat person or a dog person, your animal loves you unconditionally. Now, cats, I don't really know. Sometimes you could think they might love you. I had one good cat. His name was PJ, and then this kid down the road, not where we live at now, but this kid down the road shot him with a BB gun. And then I had to take him to the vet, right? The only thing the vet could do was amputate his leg. So here it is. I got this cat walking around. I'm feeling bad for him. I'm like, oh, man, this dude ain't got but one leg. This fool jumps in the air in the backyard and catches a bird with 3 legs. I was like, holy cow, are you serious right now? And he just looked at me like, yeah, boss, I'm serious. That's how I roll. I was like, man, he's hard as nails. Then one day, I couldn't find him. We put him outside, let him outside because he wanted to be outside, right? Because it's nice and warm outside. When we go to the store and we come back, he's gone. And I'm like, nah. Ever since he had that surgery and that amputation, he wouldn't even leave the yard. You know, he wouldn't 20 feet from the house. He was having nervousness. So he was always staying close to the porch. You know, even when he was hunting that bird, he was still close to the porch. I think somebody jacked him because he was beautiful. I mean, he was a big, fluffy, long-haired tabby. And then we had another cat. We named him Darth Vader. Lord Vader. Now, let me tell you, he was like Darth Vader in real life because that fool hated you. He hated you. If he could force choke you, he was going to force choke you. Every time you come through there, he'd swat your leg. Making that goofy noise. All right, we got to go down here and move this stuff. But then one day, we at work, the kids call us. And we're like, oh, no, what's going on? And they were panicking. They were like, something's wrong with Vader. He's just crying. My wife comes home, gets him, takes him to the animal hospital, right? He had some kind of stroke in his leg, basically. It was pretty crazy. It was terrible because, I mean, there was nothing they could do. So, we had to have him put to rest. And it was really kind of sad, you know. Even though he was a jerk cat, you know, we had him for years. After that, we lost one to cancer. After that, I was like, we ain't getting no more cats. And instead, we piled the house with dogs. So, here we are. Dogs. Golden Retriever, Corgi, and a Chihuahua. And you know what's funny? I used to think Chihuahuas were worthless dogs, right? Well, half the time, that'd be the only good dog. It only barks when the Corgi barks. So it's like, man, come on. I wish the Corgi wouldn't bark. Then nobody would bark, except for the Golden, and that's only when somebody's home. Or when somebody pulls up in a driveway that doesn't, you know, that sound of that car doesn't register in her ears as somebody that she knows. She's smart like that. Like, father-in-law can come over, and he drives a pickup truck. She can tell the difference between his pickup truck and another guy's pickup truck who comes over here, and they drive the same model truck. She can just tell the difference inside the house, I guess, based on the sound. It's pretty amazing. The Golden Retrievers are really smart. So we got one. They're good dogs. I see that's why they use them so much as service dogs for to help the blind, because they are really intelligent. But ours, man, she's getting old. I make jokes to the kids. Oh, her days are numbered, blah, blah, blah. She's 15. She's 14. So, yeah. She's probably got a couple more years left. Because I think they can live up to like 19 years old in the house. And she's been a house dog ever since this guy swerved off the road at our old place. And I don't know who he was trying to hit. I think he was trying to hit my dog. But he didn't realize that my wife was going to the mailbox. And so he almost hit her. And that's the whole reason why he swerved back onto the road and barely got my dog. But he got her good enough that she had to have a hip surgery. And at that time, man, look, at that time, I had just started a new job. I was fresh out of the Army. So we didn't have nothing. And we went to our vet, and she told us what had to happen, and we were like, oh, man, what's our options? We can't afford that. And she's like, well, you could have her put to sleep. Unfortunately, she said, but I'm not going to let you do that. I'll keep her before that because she's a good dog. And we're like, yeah. She said, but I got a guy. If you'll go see him, he may be able to do it for an affordable price. So we got up there, and the guy didn't just do it for an affordable price, right? He let us make payments on it, which was really cool. Made payments on the surgery. It was $1,200 to fix her. But, the kids already was in love with the dog, and it's hard to tell your two little daughters the bad news, because man, they were little bitty, and we didn't have much. Like, I don't know how to describe it. In the wintertime, we had these heaters, right? And I would cover them with a blanket. I would put one in the bedroom, in my bedroom, and they would all sleep back there. And I would sleep in the living room when I got off work. I would get off work about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I would sleep in the living room with a blanket over me on the floor, laying beside the other radiator heater, because it was just that cold in the house during the winter. Now, obviously, over time, I moved up in the company and stuff like that, but man, it was rough. That's how you do it, though. You got to take care of your kids first. That's our duty. That's our response. That's your responsibility. Once you have a kid, that's your responsibility. You take care of that kid, because you know what? Ain't nobody on this planet depends on you more than your kids. Nobody. And there ain't gonna be anybody that loves you more than your kids either. As long as you love them back, they'll love you unconditionally. Now, I'll say that my youngest daughter has conditions, but that's just that's a lie. That's a lie. I just say that because she's very strong in her convictions and very tough when it comes to her belief system. But that's the type of person that I've molded her to be. Strong in your faith and in your convictions. And that she really is. Now, both of them's opinionated. Son, not so much. He's just kind of chill. I can go in his room right now, and I guarantee you, he's either doing kettlebell swings with his kettlebell, because he loves to play football, so he's always trying to work out. He's either doing that, or he's messing with his fishing rod, because I got him a new fishing rod for his birthday. And he got him a rod and reel combo that he wanted, the specific one he asked for. And then if he's not doing that, he's most definitely playing a video game with his cousins. His younger cousin, which gets on his nerves pretty bad, or with the cousin that's his same age as him. Actually, he may be a little bit older. But yeah, they're always playing Snow Drifter or Snow Runners, Fortnite. And I think the other day I caught him playing Apex, and I was like, what are you doing? You're playing that mess. There's nothing wrong with Apex, though. It's just me tripping on him is all it is. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to trip on them when they be doing stuff goofy stuff. So why can't I strip the hole off that one thing? I mean, it is got a hole on it, right? But what is it? Does it matter what it is? But yeah, man, they be driving me nuts though. They're good kids though, each and every one of them. I ain't got no complaints. I mean, for Father's Day, they got me this Drake Vulture. The only reason I have it is because they got it for me. Now, they all worked and did stuff, you know. They legitimately worked. It wasn't doing chores for me around the house. They got them some odd jobs and worked around, and they bought me this ship, and that was cool. So I'm really thankful for them, you know. I think Tucker Carlson said something recently on one of his podcasts. It was something along the lines, I think a lot of people got mad about it, but he said something like, if you want to be happy, have kids, you know. I had kids young. We were young when we had our first daughter. Like, she's 19 now. So yeah, we were young. But kind of what he said is kind of true in my case. Now, that may not be the case for everybody, but in my case, it was. It truly made my life better. Having somebody who actually depends on you, right? And I think that's the hardest thing for a dad, right? Is the moment that you realize that your kids don't depend on you anymore. It's like brutal, man. It's one of the hardest things, realizing that your kids, at the same time you're proud of them, but at another time, man, you're so sad because they don't need you no more. And it's pretty profound when you realize that. Look at me getting all emotional on stream. Sorry about that, but it's true though. It's true. If you're on here and you're a dad, if you play a Star Citizen, you're probably a dad, because I don't think there's a lot of younger guys playing this game. But if there is, let me know in the chat. I'd like to talk to you about it, because I like it. As far as dads go, I guess I am a younger dad. You know, I have a 19-year-old daughter who's graduated high school and did the college thing. I'm very proud of her. She'll eventually take over the family biz. Took us a long time, a group effort to do that. I used to work in the security industry, so we'd save our money up. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm proud of them. Proud of all of them. What's funny is, though, you know, I'm starting to believe that even though you'll see these videos of I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Well, you know, you may not, but you need somebody, right? Kid needs their father. If they don't have a father, they need their mama. And if both of those fail them, then they need somebody in the community who cares for them. Right? Because everybody needs somebody to be looking out for them and mentoring them. I mean, Paul says it, you know, right there in the Bible. Mentorship is talked about a lot, especially in second book of Timothy. And, you know, you may not be into that or whatnot, but, you know, a lot of what's in there is wisdom, all right? Just wise things. And I think that wisdom is important. We should all strive to be wiser, well-read, and wise. some people make fun of me and say, "Oh, you know a lot about a lot of different stuff." You know, I'm like, yeah, well, I read a lot. You know, then somebody will get in the comments and say, "Oh, you need to go outside. You need to go out in the grass." Dude, I'm outside all the time. Who's going to cut this grass? I mean, seriously, who's going to cut the grass? I got 2 acres. Who's going to cut my grass? I cut it myself. You know, and for 2 years we push mowed it. We push mowed it for 2 years because we're fresh homeowners. Now, when you're a fresh homeowner, man, you underestimate the cost of everything. You think, oh man, this house payments are great. We got a 2% interest rate. This is awesome. Yeah, that's only the tip of the iceberg. You start having to pay pest control services and all this stuff. It's trash pickup, stuff that you ain't ever had to pay for before. It's like, holy cow. The cost just went up. But yeah, man, you know, you learn all that stuff though as you grow older, start to age. That's where wisdom comes in at. You know, you get more wise. And I think that our goal should always to become more wiser, especially as men. We should always seek wisdom, right? Because wisdom is key for anything. That's how you make good decisions, how you make poor decisions. You know, you learn from each thing. There's not a wasted mistake, right? Let no mistake that you make be a wasted mistake. Because every mistake should be a learning experience. That was a little deep for this stream tonight. But look, guys, it's just a fact, you know. You might disagree, but I really think that wisdom will get you a long way. And and I think wisdom's just a natural progression as a part of aging. Knowing when to act and when to observe. Know when to act and when to observe. That's important. Because you can glean a lot about people just observing their behaviors, listening to the things they say to others, right? Listen to the things they say. Watch how someone treats another person. That tells you a lot. And that doesn't apply to video games. I know that. But you know, hole scraping's only so fun, so you have to talk about other stuff. And this is generally the kind of stuff I would be talking with my wife about right now. She's in the other room watching a new TV show because she finished Virgin River on Netflix earlier. Yeah, she's waiting on season 5 now. She's so excited about it. I can't wait for season 5 to get here. I'm like, yeah, I bet. You know, I can't wait for them to finish the second part of The Witcher so I can finally watch the series. Because that's one of those shows that I need to binge watch. And why on earth Henry Cavill ain't going to be The Witcher again is beyond me. It's kind of like, why is he not Superman? Why is he not going to be Superman? That doesn't make sense. The Man of Steel was actually pretty awesome. Yeah, Justice League soured a lot of people, right? But Man of Steel was freaking awesome. You know, if you disagree with me, come blow my ship up. I'm happy with that. I'll be fine with it because that's part of it. That's what discussion's about, right? Discussion is two people talking about something, and You don't have to agree with each other. And I think that you just look at what's going on in the world today, and that's a big problem. Everybody thinks we have to agree on everything. No, I don't have to agree with you. When you say stuff like that, you get canceled, especially if you're famous or something. It's like, why? Why is that something we even do? Why are we canceling everybody all the time? Let's cancel this, cancel that, cancel this person because of their opinion? Come on, man. Everybody's got opinions. And guess what? They all stink. They're like a butthole. They all stink. You freshly washed that thing on a debate, guess what? It stinks. So yeah. Anyways, enough of that talk. Let's talk about salvage with the Drake, because we're getting real deep now. So yeah, it's kind of like Power Wash Simulator, except for I can go make 100,000 credits off of it. Oh, and you know, I ran that. If you watched my last stream when I did the Drake salvage thing, I ran that idea by my wife about a pressure washer business, and she said that why would I do that when I can't even pressure wash the front patio? And that kind of stung a little. And she's right, though. She's right. What makes me think I'll be able to get up and go do that for somebody else when I can't even do it for myself? Oh, maybe for money. But no, probably not. It's probably one of those things, you know, I probably spend all this money and get into it, right? Oh, yeah, it's going to be this awesome thing. And then 6 months down the line, I'm selling all that stuff for pennies on the dollar because I just can't do it. Or I get tired of doing it and burned out. Burnout's a real thing, too. I didn't know that. I used to think it was made up. But now, not so much. I think you can really get burnt out on stuff, especially if you're doing something that you don't particularly like for a long period of time. That's why you see all those old guys at work, you know, the ones that's been on the job for 30 years, and they're very disgruntled, it seems. Well, yeah, it's because they've been doing the same thing for 30 years, and they were never happy doing it in the first place. So I can see that. I can see that. My father-in-law works maintenance at this place, and he loves being maintenance. Man, they cuss each other out and everything. It's a hard job, but you know, them cussing each other out and not getting fired. Guess what that does? That actually promotes workplace cohesiveness, right? Because nobody's bullying each other. It's just, you know, I got mad at you, so I cussed you out. It's better than throwing fisticuffs or this crazy stuff that happens. You know, because there's crazier things than somebody throwing some foul language at you, or even throwing a few punches. I mean, you just see what goes on in some of these workplaces. It don't make any sense to me. Grown men getting their feelings hurt over words. Are you serious? I mean, it'd be different. I mean, if my wife come in here and said, "Man, you fat," that would probably hurt my feelings. And that's okay. That's somebody that you love and care about saying something to you that, quite frankly, wasn't designed to hurt your feelings. It was designed in a way to say, hey, you look like a slob. Maybe you should start exercising. Hey, I got the message, man. I got the message. I got my Bowflex. I got the message. I'm too fat. Also, if you're going to get one of those, get one used. Because, man, every year after Christmas, you can buy a Bowflex for dirt cheap. You can buy all kind of exercise equipment. You want a Peloton? Get it after Christmas. Because people paying $2,000-$3,000 for the things, and then they just give them away because they ain't going to use them. They end up being something you put your laundry on after you after you wash your clothes. You fold your clothes, put your laundry on it. Basically, it's a laundry rack. No joke. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. If you're new to the channel, just logged in. I can't actually see live chat. I can see the chat. I can't actually, I know that there's numbers on the screen for you to see, but what I see and what's actually there, I have learned is two different things. I learned it when I read my after stream report, and I'm like, oh, well, it says only this so-and-so was on there. So if you're having fun, let me know. Hit me up in the chat. If you like these deep conversations, let me know. We'll talk about some more stuff. I try to stay away from political stuff, though. Just cause nobody likes politics. Or I don't like it. Unfortunately, it's a necessity of life because everything seems political. But I don't like talking about it. Oh man, just like that. Look at that. I mean, we're filling this thing up, guys. We're gonna have 2 full runs. We're gonna accomplish 2 full runs this from 8 to 10 with this ship. That's amazing. That's pretty good. And that'll be, golly. So that was 171 I said last time, right? 170, roughly 171,000 credits. And we're going to do that again, another 171,000. So that's going to be 342,000 credits in 2 hours. That's not bad. And this has just been chill gameplay. I mean, what we've been doing tonight's just been talking about random stuff. Because one, I'm in a pretty good mood. I didn't want to ruin the mood that I was in by doing bunker missions, because last night put a sour taste in my mouth for the time being. So it'll probably be, I'll start back streaming on Wednesday. I'm not going to be streaming Monday or Tuesday. I do have a video coming out tomorrow at 5 p.m. that walks you through how to get out of Klesher if you get locked in prison. What I found for me, and this for me, somebody else may disagree, and there's no problem with that, because I mean that's part of the game. But I think I did a video on what I think is the fastest way to get out of Klesher. If you watch the video, let me know if you agree in the comments tomorrow. And hopefully, if you end up in Klesher and you follow that advice, hopefully it gets you out of there much faster. Because if I wouldn't have been doing a video on it, then it probably would have took me maybe 10 minutes tops. Now, I did BS around, so it ended up taking about 17 minutes. But, you know, I BS'd around, so that's my fault. Make sure we get that on there nice and square. Well, I don't want it doing that thing that it did a while ago. But yeah, I think that's a worthwhile video to watch, actually, and because it took me a long time to figure out how to do Klesher. And back in the day when I did Klesher, you couldn't go on Route 2 because there was some kind of bug, and you would clip through the wall and end up on Route 1. So on this one, I took a mission. The mission was on Route 2. We went and successfully did it, and it gave me all the credits I needed. Or you can spend, time in there mining and hopefully making enough to get out, or you can just run the mission and just run straight there, right? Run straight there, do the mission, backspace out. Now, I did some mining in that video to show how to FPS mine, And then I walked back, or ran back. And the reason why I did that is so I could leave the bags of Dolovine for the next person who got put in Clasher. Because it should have been enough if somebody went in there for, you know, like a 30-minute stint or an hour-long stint. That should have been enough Dolovine to get them out, to be honest with you. But my second stint in Clasher, I made sure I got to Clasher. And I just logged out for the night because, you know, it was already too late. The boss came in here and said, hey, you got to stop. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll stop. And she thinks she's the boss. But when it comes to me going to sleep, yeah, she's the boss. Because I will stay up all night. Uncontrolled. And that's my fault. Luckily, she's not watching the stream, so I don't have to worry about that. And she's in the other room, so she can't hear me, which is good. Because if she heard me say she's not the boss, she'd be in here on my tail. Oh, it looks like I lost a YouTube viewer. That does show live when somebody steps out. Hate to see that, but the stream is almost going to be over as soon as we get done with this. I was going to say I'll cut it at 10 o'clock, but I'm not doing that until this gets totally salvaged. Now, I may not run the Loreville with it tonight, but you'll know. This night ends up with 300,000 AUEC worth of credits, because we're gonna fill this thing up. We still got a quarter of this to salvage. Let's see. I like burning those round holes in it. It feels cool when you do that. All right, it's obstructed. We have to hop back down and go back in there. All right, if you're back on the channel or you're new to this stream, we're doing salvage missions. We got 10 minutes left. I have to stick to a strict schedule tonight because the boss is on me. She's on to what I'm doing. But, you know, it is what it is. I do have to work tomorrow, so it is important for me to actually go to bed at a decent time. And here it's almost 10 o'clock p.m. So that'll give me time to go lay down, decompress, let my eyes rest, and then wait a while before I actually fall asleep, because we all know you don't fall asleep instantly. Which is funny, because when I was younger, man, I could fall asleep just like that. I could fall asleep standing up. But now it's like, man, I can go in there and lay down, and it's just misery. Where are we at? There we are. So, yeah. It's like, I don't want it. It's like your body procrastinates against sleeping. And I don't know. There's probably it's probably a real thing. I should look it up one day. I bet it is. I bet it is. It's probably called sleep procrastination or something crazy like that. But I think that if that's a real thing, I have that. Legit, I have that. Because, man, I don't want to go to sleep sometimes. And I'll fight myself. Like, let me start watching some Japanese anime. I start watching some anime, something like Naruto, man, I'll watch it all night. What else? What have I watched lately? Not Demon Slayer. That's a good one, though. Demon Slayer's a good one. Golly, Goblin Slayer. Man, look, that's hardcore. Don't watch that unless you're 18 and up, because that's a brutal anime. It all looks fun in games, but man, it is brutal. Also, Black Clover's pretty decent. It's more of a kid's anime. It's a shonen anime, so it's more kid related. There is a cool scene. If you want to skip through and just watch the coolest battle ever, it would be the episode's titled Julius Novachrono. And he's the Wizard King if you've never watched the show. And he fights this dude. And it is insane. You just got to watch it. It makes me want to clip it and show it to you. Because, man, look, it's the real deal. You know how anime studios do that thing where they do the super realistic or super fast anime style for certain fights? Well, that's one of those fights where they do that, and it's really cool. What else? What one have I been watching lately? Oh, I'll tell you another. If you want to watch one that's kind of funny and it's got really great dub, it's got a really great dub, and that's what's it called? Reincarnated in golly. Basically, this guy gets reincarnated into a video game. It's one of those rom-com games. What is the name of that? And he hates being in that world and stuff. The voice acting in that is top tier. They picked a really good main character. Golly, what is the name of that show? The main character's name is Leon Fo Beaufort. It's hilarious. I'll say that. Yeah, look, man, we're gonna have. Look, this is easily gonna be all the credits we could need. Piled in right here. It's gonna be great. Oh, reincarnated in a dating sim, I think is what it's called. It's hilarious. It is funny, and like I said, the voice acting is top notch. One I'm looking forward to is season 2 of Jobless Reincarnation. I don't know how to say the actual word for that one, so I'm just using the title that they give it on Crunchyroll. It's about this kid, and he's growing up. You know, it's kind of like the Naruto grow up story, except for this is a more serious anime than Naruto is, and it's about this kid. What's his name? Golly, something gray rat. Rudius Gray Rat, and he's reincarnated in this world. It's pretty complicated. It's got some adult moments in that anime too, so it's not for kids. So if you're a kid and you're watching this, don't try to watch that. It's for adults. And I know it's crazy to say a cartoon's for adults, but it's got some pretty heavy themes. Stuff kids wouldn't understand, in my opinion. Yeah, but you may let your kids watch that. If you do, that's fine. As long as you know about it. As long as you know about it, it's fine. They say ignorance is bliss. That is not true when it comes to you raising your kids. Ignorance ain't bliss. Know what they're doing. Because we all know what we were doing when we were in our young teens. Just knowing that, we should be able to mentor our children better. See, there's that word again, mentor. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's important. You really think about it. I mean, all of our lives we're mentored by somebody, whether it's on the job, working at a new place, and this guy takes you under your wing and teaches you stuff. It's teachers mentoring you, teaching you. Just like you do with you should do the same thing with your kids. Mentoring our kids. That's important. Some of this hole is not stripping off, and I don't know why. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm waiting for season 2. It's coming out soon. So he's aged up in this new one. He's not a little kid anymore. Now he should be a teen. Kind of like Naruto, where, you know, Naruto Shippuden, he's a teenager. In Naruto, he's a young kid. And then, obviously, in Boruto, or however you want to say it, he is, Naruto's an adult with his own kids and his own problems, which we can all relate. And I think that's why that anime kind of transcends other animes, because this character grows up just like we all grew up, because we grew up during the age of, or we were maybe teens. I can't quite remember. Maybe we were teens when Naruto first came out. I remember it being on Disney Channel. I remember that. Cartoon Network and Disney Channel. But that's what makes that anime so transcendent, because it's lasted so many years and the character grew up from a kid to an adult. It wasn't like Dragon Ball Z, where it's constantly, you know, Goku getting stronger and stronger, and yeah, Naruto gets stronger and stronger, but he does grow up from a little kid during different tiers of that saga. I tried to watch Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War, but I don't know. The animation was different than the original Bleach. Even though they had all the same voice actors, the story's much darker. Which Bleach always had kind of a dark story, but it was still fun. And this one's just not as fun, especially since Ichigo Kurosaki ends up being like a weakling from the beginning, right? It shows up, you know, this bad guy shows up and Ichigo takes out the hollow like it's nothing with his Bankai. But then this dude shows up and he's able to easily handle his Bankai. Granted, we ain't seen a single episode of Bleach, so we don't know the power progression because it's been so long since that show aired. Like, legitimately aired. And then we see that happen. It's like, okay, why is Ichigo getting his butt kicked when he's supposed to be super powerful? And that's aggravating. When you see a super powerful character getting their butts kicked, even in comic books, it's so aggravating. It's like, okay, you know, there's no way this dude could beat Superman, or there's no way this could happen, you know. And I saw one time Stan Lee said, what happened, he was answering a question. What would happen if Superman fought so-and-so? And Stan Lee said, well, it depends on what the writer wanted to say. That's how you figure whether or not somebody can beat somebody else in a comic series. And I guess that's the same way for anime. But with anime, we always usually have clear power scaling. And for some reason, there's no progression for clear power scaling in 1,000 Year Blood War. Now, that's just the anime. The manga could be different, but I haven't read it. The only manga I've read is One Punch Man. And let me tell you, One Punch Man is awesome. One Punch! If you haven't watched it, give it a try. I actually got my wife to watch that one. I don't know what you're thinking. Grown men watching cartoons. Ha ha ha. They're not really they're not. Yeah, they're cartoons. But it's no different than watching a superhero movie by Marvel. Actually, sometimes, the majority of the time, the story is better. The story is better. If they would make a live action of some of these anime shows, man, it'd be on point. I'm talking about a real live action. I'm not talking about one of these done by it needs to be done by a Hollywood studio, but they won't step into that genre, you know, because it's risky or whatnot. I don't think so. I think they could have some. They probably ruin it though, like they did with Dragon Ball. You remember that movie? That movie was terrible, and that was at the height of Dragon Ball Z's popularity, you know. they made that crap movie that was terrible. It was a terrible movie. I thought that they did Full Metal Jacket or Full Metal Alchemist, and that was decent, but based on the characters' origin stories, they really did not nail that one at all as far as accuracy. Bleach was just as bad. It was not good live action anime reproduction. I mean, for example, Chad was clearly from Central American origin, right? But not in the not in the live action. To me, that's a character casting problem. And you shouldn't have those. When you make movies based on animes, you know what the characters are supposed to act like, what they're supposed to look like based on that, and fans expect that. Whether you're from Japan or whether you're from the United States, you expect Naruto to have spiky hair. That's why he's not so popular in Boruto. Naruto has spiky hair. He's supposed to look like his dad, which was Minato Namikaze. You know, he's supposed to look like his dad, but his own style. And he did for the whole run of the anime until you get to the movie. What was the name of that movie? The one where he fought that Otsutsuki guy on the moon. Oh man, what's the name of that? But a bad trope in anime is also the love stories. The characters being oblivious to the fact this girl likes them. You know, it's like, okay, buddy, Naruto, you're in your 20s now. You just now realizing Hinata likes you? Are you serious? You should have known that when you were a 16-year-old back in Shippuden. Seriously. I mean, when you fought Pain, she straight up told you she loved you. And you just thought that meant like? You're an idiot. So that's my only problem with that. You know what else bothered me about that anime? You know, right after Naruto defeats Pain, what happens? You know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. Sakura Haruno punches Naruto in the head after he defeats Pain. If you haven't watched Naruto versus Pain, I suggest you watch it right now on YouTube. Get on there, look up Naruto versus Pain. Make sure you watch the full fight. Because, yeah. If you watch that show long enough, you know, they're all on their knees begging for Naruto to show up. And then you gonna punch him. You're gonna punch him in his head after he defeats the bad guy that destroys your whole village. And this is after you're begging for him to appear. Doesn't make any sense. It's one of the most. I was really mad at that moment because it didn't. I mean, this dude. Everybody's waiting on him to come save the day because he's been training and training and training. And when he does show up, you punch him in his head after he defeats the main bad guy. That don't make sense, guys. That don't make sense. And he's your friend? Let me punch you in the head and call you an idiot after you do something awesome. No, that's not how that works. That should have never happened. I hope Kishimoto didn't write that into his anime. I should check. I should look in the manga and see if that's in there. That dude's a storyteller, by the way. Because Naruto's on point. All right, so we're almost done salvaging. I'll stick with you guys all the way to Loreville. Once I get to Loreville and we go sell our stuff, then I'm going to log. But you see, we're still... It said that we had salvaged all this stuff off this hammerhead, but you see, we're still scraping whole, baby. We still scraping whole. So we're going to walk out of this thing with 300-something thousand credits. Easy. So if you're interested in this gameplay, I suggest you log in, sign up for a free RSI account, right? And get in here and sign up to get that Drake Vulture during the free fly event, so you can give it a shot. Earn you a couple 100,000 credits. Buy you another ship in game once you hit a couple million credits. I mean, if we did this for like, I see some people streaming for like 17 hours. Look, you do this right here for 4 hours, you'll have 1 million credits at least, especially if you just dedicate it to the 50,000 credit missions. 4 hours, yeah, you could have 1 million credits. Because this is actually going kind of slow. I usually like it to be a little bit faster than this. I don't know why all of a sudden we're not able to collect. But yeah, so that's it for Vulture running. Right? Now, we're going to head down to Loreville. And we're going to see how many we manage to fit on here. Hopefully a good many. I'm actually pretty excited to see this. I can't believe we didn't find any hull panels or anything on the way out here. Again, if you find a hull panel, those things take longer to salvage, but man, you'll fill your ship up in a heartbeat with those things, and they're just floating out here as salvageable debris. So it's real easy if you can find it, right? And right now, that's the hard part. Hopefully, that'll be fixed in another update. Because I know 3.20 has got to be coming, right? It's just got to be around the corner. Because I've been showing a lot of stuff about that, the whole sea coming. You know, the whole sea is going to change the whole economy dynamic in this game. And I can't wait to see what kind of economy changes they make corresponding to the fact that the whole sea is arriving. Because you figure they're going to have to, because that ship will be the biggest cargo ship by a huge margin. And then down the line, you got the whole B and the whole A, I think. Well, you got 2 more ships that are going to be even bigger because they spent like 2 years developing this ship and making it work properly, the physics and everything. So once they get the concept down, obviously kicking out the other 2 ships is going to be much easier. But, you know, it's got to be, there's got to be some kind of change to the economy to make up for that. So I can't wait to see it. Hopefully it's awesome. And there's bigger salvage ships too. The Vulture's not the biggest one. The Reclaimer is bigger. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some even bigger ships coming into the game later on. They'll probably be like $1,000, like the Carrack. I think the Carrack's 1,000. I need to look that up. I wonder if they still have the Carrack starter package. The Carrack starter package actually comes with more than just the Carrack. It comes with a Carrack, a CBX rescue ship, basically. Something else. It's a whole package. If you get on RSI and you look up ship packages, it should be there. Let me know what you think about my shirt in the comments. Obviously, you can't get this custom made. I made it, of course. So that's cool. I like making stuff. If you have a way to make your own stuff, make it. You don't need somebody else to make your merch. Make your own. Have your own merch. So yeah, I can't wait to get in here. I want to see how many credits we ended up earning. So 206 is where we're at right now. 206,000 credits is where we're at. So let's see where we get to. So this is the longest part. Like I said, I don't like speeding into Tisa Spaceport because this ship is clunky. It's a clunkus. You ever heard the word chunkus? This is a chunkus. It's a chunkus clunkus. Chunkus clunkus. So just in case you're wondering what these are, this is a lozenge. It's just a lozenge. Nothing big, no big deal. I'm going to Alt in. I guess we're not close enough to request. Let's go up here to menu, comms. No, we're not close enough to request a landing yet. All right, now we are.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay. Hello, and thank you for contacting EDL Landing Assist.
Golly. I don't know what menu I had it on, but who cares? It'll go away in a minute. Isn't this city so cool looking? Other than the fact that it's all foggy with all the pollution, it's still really cool. Let's turn our lights on. Let's go ahead and put our landing gear down. Hopefully you're getting to see this as smooth as I'm getting to see it. Because I hate it if it's laggy for you guys. I want you guys to be able to see how awesome this is. So, okay, yeah, we're going to be landing in the little skinny one again. And again, when you hear it say that we're leaving the safe zone, don't pay that any attention because we're not leaving the safe zone. So, again, here, you'll want to get your ship kind of really close to the front, okay? And tilt it, move it to the right, get yourself centered up, and then bring it down. Take it forward. All right, so we hit, right? So we take it forward some more. Because it's hard to judge your distance, right? Because we go too far forward. Guess what? We're going to hit that side. So there we go. And that little bit of damage that we caused is no big deal.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
We'll go ahead and fix it while we're here because I plan on taking this ship back later on. Whenever I log back into Star Citizen, we're going to take this ship back. Now, don't forget that we're exiting out this door if we can apparently not get out. So stand up. Now we'll try to get out this door. There we go. Open door. So the door open symbol is in a weird spot. A landing gear is down, but it appeared not to be for a second. So yeah, we landed in this hangar the right way. It looks like we didn't, but we did. Again, this ship is bigger than the landing pad right there. I don't know why you can't just get a bigger landing pad. And I hope Space Tomato's right. I hope that we have hangars coming soon. in the next update. That would be awesome. I'm thinking he's thinking 4.0, and that's probably right. It probably won't be till 4.0, but fingers crossed that it will be in 3.2. That way we can have custom hangers, the hangers that we paid for when we bought the game. Because you get a hanger with your starter package. You get nicer hangers when you start upgrading to standalone ships. And I think you use the nicest hanger that you have. Which in my case, I think it's the one that came with the Freelancer Max. Okay, make sure I went the right direction. Sometimes I'm bad about that, losing where I'm going. Forgetting where I'm going. I don't know where I've been. Oh, you know what? We're wandering around this place without an armor on. Oh, look, I got a blue arrow backpack. I wonder where I got that from. Got all this stuff in my inventory. I don't even know where it came from. Probably when our accounts got wiped, some of my stuff went back to Loreville. And that could be what it was. Huh. Are you guys lagging? Yes. Yes, you are. And I don't know why. Let's take a look. Oh, it's that lag. If you're still watching, that lag came off of Streamlabs server going to YouTube or Twitch and Facebook. So I apologize for that. I see that it's lagging on their end. So hopefully it'll clear up in just a second, because it's cleared up in my window. I hate it when that happens. It's not my internet speed, I promise. I'm 1 gig up, 1 gig down. I test it every day before I go on to make sure that I'm actually running those speeds. One, because I pay for those speeds. And I had this internet before I ever thought about streaming, because I needed it for playing this game, playing other online games. I wish I would have had it back in the day when I used to play Guild Wars. That would have been awesome. Because, man, some of them big battles, I would just lag out. It was insane. All right. So we fit, this time, look at that, 12 plus 11. So what is that, 23 boxes. So we managed to fit 23 boxes on here. So that's 92,000. We were at 2.067 million, right? 2.067. 84,000, right? Now, let's see where we're at now. See where we're at now, guys. 2.25 million. So 2,244,000 credits. That's insane. So that means we hit over 400,000 credits, right? On that load, we got 90 twice, right? 90 twice. We got 90 and 70, so that's 180 plus so 270, 350. 350,000 credits. Somewhere around there. My math is probably off. But yeah. 350,000 credits, 2 hours in the Drake Mule. You can't beat it. That's a quick way to make cash in this game. It's relaxing, stress-free. The most stressful thing about it is actually having to land. Landing is the most stressful thing. Look, I had a good time tonight hanging out with you guys. I hope you had a good night hanging out with me. If you like what I'm doing, make sure you punch that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you're on Twitch, just follow my channel. That would be awesome. Like I said, no need for bits or any of that stuff. Just follow my channel and you'll stay updated with what I got going on. Okay? If you're on Facebook, which I highly doubt it, if you do happen to be watching on Facebook, I appreciate you watching the whole time. And I'll see everybody Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Don't forget, I have a video coming tomorrow. It'll be out at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, and that's the one that help you get out of cholesterol faster. I hope to have some more reels made or some more shorts made by Tuesday, because I have some really good ones from last night where I had all that trouble. So hope to see you guys pretty soon. We're going to go ahead and get to the spaceport so you don't have to see this lag. I don't know why it lags when I'm on this train. It's redonkulous. Yeah, skipped frames. 62% over the last 2 minutes. All because of getting on the train. Each time I get on the train, we get this. So, train. So, yeah, it's just because we're on a train. So, as soon as we get off this train, we will put our ship up. But I appreciate you guys again. I can't say it enough. I appreciate everybody who watches, everybody who hangs out, everybody who chats. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you Wednesday, okay? Attention! That's some cool ass armor. Oh yeah, we gotta put my ship up. Duh.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.